Well, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another trading session. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. We will probably have CPI this Friday. And right now, it seems like price is kind of consolidating, waiting for something. But let's take back to yesterday's price action just to have an idea about what we are probably getting today. So yeah, looking at the 21st of October, you can see that price didn't do much here. We just took out previous day high on ES. It kind of fell short on NQ. But in the meantime, price kind of dropped down right to our NWOG here. And in Asia, we kind of moved to the downside once again in London. And right now we are stuck inside this box, as you can see. So if you look into the 5-minute chart, you can see that we are clearly inside of somehow a accumulation, and yeah, there's not much we can do in terms of bias. I can't say I have a bias right now. It's kind of neutral. Of course, in a higher time frame, I still believe we will reach for all-time highs. But honestly, I would like to see before heading to all-time highs, because if we will head to all-time highs just like this, there will be no trigger for us. And yeah, I need to see first a drive lower, taking out all this liquidity down here, then reversal and a move to the upside. It can happen that we will do the opposite situation, where price will just move to the upside here and then eventually move lower afterwards. So it's kind of hard to frame anything when price is in a consolidation. It's like a coin toss, where you have a 50% of chance to be in the right side of the move. So in order to engage with anything today, we will have to wait for previous day high to be purged, or eventually previous day low to be purged as well. I will mark the previous day low here as well. Just give me a minute. So the 21st of October, which is right here. I will explain you previous day low. So I will explain you all these lines that you can see here. It's kind of crowded, my chart. I know it's kind of crowded here with a lot of things, but I will explain you what those things are. So these levels that you can see here, these are the quadrants of the weekly wick, which if I go here, you can clearly see that the weekly wick can be divided in quadrants, and price didn't reach, it kind of reached for the 50% of the weekly wick, but it didn't hold it. So we are now below the 25% of it. So I need to see some willingness to move higher. Otherwise, we will probably move into a lower situation, which can be this daily. Oops. This daily fair value gap here, which we formed yesterday. So with the close of yesterday's candle, we formed this daily fair value gap, and yeah, we can eventually dig lower, trying to explore these lower quadrants of the daily BC. So let me just erase this, because I don't like how this is being presented right now. So here you can see the daily fair value gap and the BC that I was talking about. So right now the analog is holding price to interact with it. It kind of touched it yesterday, but yesterday was not confirmed yet. So with the close, it kind of confirmed the presence of this daily fair value gap. So let me mark the 9:30 open first. We have the 9:30 open right here, I believe. Yeah. So as you can see as well, all the opens are kind of stacked together. Midnight open, 9:30 open, 8:30 open. Yeah, they are very close to each other. So whenever we have a day where you can see that the opens are kind of close to each other, it really can mean that we will have a a hard day to decipher what price really wants to do. So keep that in mind as well. We are still waiting for the first presented fair value gap, but I will mark the 950 macro here. This will help us not to forget about it. So 950, 10, 10. You already know that I usually don't interact with this first fair value gap, the 930 fair value gap. I need a fair value gap right after 931 or at 931 just to keep it, just to keep it as a first presented one. Just let me look at NQ. We'll move this somewhere around here. Yeah. So let me just look at NQ and see what NQ is really doing here. Well, on NQ, we already took out that the majority of the sell side liquidity. If you look into the one hour chart, you can see that NQ already took out yesterday's low. It took out Asia lows as well. So now we are waiting for ES to do eventually the same, or if it wants to present us with some sort of an SMT. So far, this is our first presented fair value gap here. It's kind of a small one, but it's still valid. So far, a straight move down here. Price interacting right now with the NWOG. Let me take a look at the regular trading hours as well. So the regular trading hours, it seems like we are facing some connection issues. I don't know why, but I'm sorry for that. So right now I will mark the regular trading hour session sell side liquidity, which is right here. Sell side liquidity here on ES. Yeah, it kind of has some kind of confluence with the previous day low. So we will wait a bit here on ES if it wants to take out that relative, not that relative, but the regular trading hour sell side liquidity. We'll just move this one a little bit to my right as well. So yeah, at this point, seems like everything is on point now. So let the market just do what it wants to do, because right now we still don't have any plan. Asia lows are taken here, but I would like to see a little bit lower, eventually previous day low or the regular trading hour session sell side liquidity, just to consider longs towards eventually London high. But yeah, we need to wait a bit more because so far I don't see any criteria to long now, despite we are supporting here at the end walk. But I would like to see a fake out here to the downside, enticing a lot of short sellers that will probably think, oh yeah, we will go towards new lows and we will lose this end walk towards the downside, the downside, and then eventually giving us a reversal to the upside, because I can see a lot of relative equal highs here, relative equal highs. Yeah, a lot of relative equal highs, but so far, I don't. So far, I'm demanding a retest lower, a purge lower from ES. Unless price action is presenting us with an SMT here, and if this SMT just holds, we can eventually expect price to move higher. But I really would like to see a drive a little bit lower on ES, because on the regular trading hours, we still have some sell side liquidity to take out. So I will give ES a little bit more time and not engage with it right away, because that's one of those things that I really don't like to do. It's just engaging with price action and in its first minutes. I prefer to give it some time before engaging with it. Well, on NQ, it seems clean on NQ, but on ES, I would like to see a drive lower. Right now, we have a breaker already here on ES, which is holding. And NQ really giving us the upside now. Let's just see if it has the strength to hold it, or if it will go a little bit lower. Just let me take a look at YM to see what YM is doing. So right now, NQ definitely the strongest one. YM seems to be the weakest, and ES is, like usual, in the middle of them. Let me just take a look at the regular trading hours on NQ just to see if there's still some measure of sell side liquidity left. There's still some data missing here on NQ, and I'm not able to see if there's something missing here. But it seems like nothing is missing here. So NQ all ready to account all that liquidity. And yeah, ES is pushing towards these highs as well. A nice reaction here from the breaker. Now let's see if we can eventually hold price above the 25% of the weekly wick, or if we will move a little bit lower. So price is now trying to respect the 830 open, but it seems to me like it will not hold for long. See, 830 acting as resistance here. Let's see if this is just a retrace, and because we have the order block here, and we will continue moving higher, or if it's just a move down towards the sell side that's left here on ES. NQ is trying to push a little bit now. So another visit here to the breaker. The breaker is kind of holding. Still retesting the breaker. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't chase it, because otherwise at this point I would be kind of nervous about my scalp. The breaker is still holding here. Yeah. We'll wait a bit more. We are entering the macro. So another touch inside the breaker. Not the best fill here. And Q is still pushing here to the upside. Let's see if we have the same behavior on ES. Yeah, price kind of rejecting the 25% of the week of the weekly wick here. I would like to see price coming a little bit higher And at this time, we are already taking out these relative equal highs on NQ. So I would like to see a higher displacement here on ES. We'll give it some time. We are inside a macro. Let's see if we will have a closure here. Nice reaction. So at this point, I will put myself at break even since I don't want to see it coming lower. Otherwise, I want to see a close above 25% of it and not a wicking here and falling to the downside. But yeah, ES is kind of struggling here a bit. See how 830 is acting as resistance, and we got stopped out to break even here. So this is what I was expecting on price to do, and I would not like to participate on this rejection here on at 830. Let's see if we will have another opportunity to engage with the price, but the move to the upside didn't deliver as we wanted. So yeah, usually when I'm opening positions near 830, and I talked about it yesterday, that's why I protected myself this early in this position. Usually 830 or 930 or even midnight open, price tends to react to those levels. In this case, in a bearish way. So that's why I decided to protect myself, just to avoid this type of behavior from price. It doesn't mean that it can still go to the upside, but I was not allowing this on price because I don't like when price does things like this. That's why I decided to protect myself. So at this point, NQ already took out those pre-market highs. And yeah, this was some sort of a bearish reaction from those pre-market highs. NQ really behaving in a better way, while ES is just mumbling around, not doing anything that it's supposed to do, especially inside of the macro. We needed to see some speed here around the 25% of the wick. So it didn't happen. It kind of rejected it. And yeah, I was preventing this behavior by putting myself at break even in a early stage of the trade. So well, we have a 830 open rejection, 25% of the wick rejection as well. Price is once again touching the breaker, but I don't know if it will hold this time. Yeah, price is still mumbling around. We are still lacking some speed here on ES. It doesn't mean that we won't reach for these levels, but yeah, I needed to see some speed and I was not seeing it here. So that's why I decided to kind of protect myself. The fill here was not the best, but still valid. Seems like price needed to go once again for the breaker. NQ is still moving to the upside. But now seems like ES's behavior is depending on NQ. So it's kind of tricky. Yeah, still struggling here, even inside a macro. So if NQ really wants to retrace a little bit lower, um, ES will probably head towards the first presented fair value gap. But yeah, I will wait a little bit more. This is a crowded spot here because we have 8:30 open, 9:30 open, midnight open. We have 25% of the wick as well. So if price really was able to give us something like this, presenting a fair value gap around this level and retracing back to it, then I would take the another entry around here. But yeah, it seems like price action is kind of strange, and I was kind of feeling it. That's why I decided to protect this trade in the early stages of it. Price consolidating around here for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So this trade would cost us a lot of mental capital. So yeah. Just let me take a look at YM to see what YM is doing. Yes, YM seems like displacing to the upside now. Well, it kind of took out all this liquidity here, but it's kind of weak. While ES, just let me check once again what ES is doing. Yeah, ES is still mumbling here. NQ, let me take a look at NQ. Well, NQ took out these pre-market highs. It took out these pre-market highs and kind of reacted to it right away. So it is possible, since we are inside of a consolidation, and we kind of inverted this fair value gap, that the market will now drive a little bit lower on NQ, and it will drag ES with it. See, but ES is trying to hold here, but not in a way that I would like to see holding a trade. And if you watched the first minutes of the stream, I was saying that there's still some sell side liquidity here below on ES, especially from the regular trading session hours here. So I believe Pablo said something. Hi Miguel. Touched highs yesterday and it's still going down, looking bearish for me. Yeah, we might, because at this point I see we still have previous day low and the regular trading hour session sell side liquidity on ES, and yeah, the macro didn't give us any fuel to the upside. So I believe price is just holding here just to move a little bit lower first. But it's kind of hard to frame anything because we are still inside here on ES. We are still inside this mess. So it's kind of a 50-50 chance that we are right or wrong. Because if you look into ES, it didn't behave like NQ. NQ really did a solid purge of liquidity here, of this sell side liquidity. But ES didn't. It kind of was held by the NWOG. And yeah, and right now we are just continuing. I would call this time distortion. So probably we are waiting for something, but it's kind of strange because price, it's not usual for price to time distort inside of a macro. So that's why I prefer to stay away from it right now and just wait for something a little bit cleaner. I've tried the longs. The fill was not the best one since I took a market order, but yeah, we would have been a little bit in drawdown, a little bit in profit, so it's like a break-even trade right now. When price reached 8:30 open and the 25% of the weekly wick, I was expecting it to expand higher and not allowing it to come back inside this range. So that's why I put myself at break even as soon as I could. See, price is really having a hard time to displace above these levels. It's kind of holding back here. But even if we displace lower here, I will probably not take it because ES was not able to take any buy side liquidity. We are still short in terms of buy side liquidity. It needs to take out some buy side liquidity here first. Yes, driving a little bit lower once again. So yes, is really testing the patience of those who longed. And it's always tricky when you take a long position without a clean purge of sell side liquidity, and it's always tricky. In a high time, in a all-time high environment, it can work out, but sometimes, in general, it shouldn't. You should wait for a purge on liquidity first. Even if NQ already took it, you should wait and then eventually try to engage with a long position. Because if you try to engage with a long position without any sell side liquidity purge, yeah, it can work out, but the majority of times it won't. So price coming back to the first presented fair value gap, just like I anticipated. I was saying that if NQ really did some sort of retrace, we would head back to the first presented fair value gap, and it's kind of happening. And now we need to see if the first presented fair value gap will hold or not. But yeah, right now, nothing, even the short position, it doesn't interest me. It really, it really doesn't entice me at all. I will move this out. So far, the long narrative is broken here. Well, those who took the long on NQ, they got served very well. Um, but those who decided to do the same on AS, yeah, it didn't deliver as we wanted. At least we tried. So sometimes it is like this. NQ was definitely the stronger sister. Uh, I believe YM is still the weakest. And yeah, ES is the one that's doing nothing right now. So yeah, sometimes we just have to accept that we are not always on the right side of the market. So price now displacing to the downside, taking out these lows, the 935 lows. But we need to see some lower action. I will take out this SMT here as well. So as I was saying in the first minutes of the stream, I would like to see a fake out of the end walk price, just giving us bearish vibes here, displacing lower below the end walk, taking out regular trading hour session sell side liquidity, previous day low, enticing more short sellers, presenting some sort of a bearish fair value gap here, displacing a little bit lower, and then start to retrace and invert around here. That would be good to see. That would be a game plan. But right now, no game plan at all. As you can see, price is just moving back and forth, not giving us anything to work with. Kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. So Well, guys, we are still waiting for something because this was not enough to me as well. We need to see a lower purge and not this shy purge that the market is giving us. So if you're falling into this, I would not advise you to interact with something that you see in here, because at some point you will start to see and you will start to FOMOing in, but you need to see a lower displacement here or a lower purge on price. Just be patient and wait for it. And if if price decides to run here, I wouldn't advise you to take it as well. So just wait. We will have another macro at 1050. So we might have a model presenting us something at 1050. I don't know. But so far, nothing to work with. See price really trying to work a little bit lower. So that's why I decided to say I told you to stay away from it. Let it just do what it has to do first, and then put your plan into place. So what about you guys? Have you done anything yet? Did you catch the longs on NQ, or are you shorting it right now? So far, bullish PD arrays, bearish PD arrays are being respected. As you can see here, so bearishness is king right now, but I don't know if it will maintain the bearishness on higher time frames. I will decide it as soon as we take out these levels here. Regular trading hour session, sell side liquidity, and previous day low. And it will happen probably around 1050. The reversal, if we are still bullish, will probably happen around 1050. I don't know. So I will just wait, because so far this macro just developed a bearish move. Not that big of a move, but it's kind of working. So at this point, it seems obvious that price wants to reach for previous day low, regular trading hour session sell side liquidity, and the top of the daily fair value gap, and explore the daily fair value gap as well. So let's see if this turns out to be some sort of a fake out, just like I was expecting, or if it will just be a continuation to the downside. You shorted, Pablo. Yeah, but be careful with it. Did you short NQ or yes? NQ, okay. So price reaching for previous day low, regular trading hour session sell side liquidity, and now let's see if we will have some sort of reaction here, or if price really wants to drive lower. So congrats on your short position, Pablo. Let me just check here for, yeah, we might use this one right here just to see how far price can eventually go. Let's see if this one is being respected right now. It seems like it. Okay, minus 2.5 standard deviation stands for 75% of the daily fair value gap. So let's see if price reaches that level. Price still moving down here, reaching for -2 standard deviation. Nice run now. So price kind of stopped here at -2 standard deviation here. Let's see if we will have some more fall through, or if we will have something kind of bullish here. So far, nothing. Let me just mark the bearish fair value gap here. So now we are having the follow through. You're saying that in your view, the market manipulated Monday to move down. Yeah, you were talking about it yesterday, right? Yeah, it can happen, yes. Let me just take a look at the higher time frames. So you say that the 20th, this bullish candle was a manipulation, and now we will probably engulf this one right here. Well, since we rejected clearly the midpoint of the weekly wick, it really can happen. And you anticipated it. If it really happens, you anticipated it very well. So at this point, we reached for 75% of the daily fair value gap. Let's see if it will hold, or if we will have some more downside. Nice reaction here so far. Price kind of stopped here at -2.5 standard deviation. It went back for -2. Let's see if we can get a run towards this fair value gap here and see how price will react as soon as it touches it. Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I just don't know if we will have CPI on Friday because it seems to be scheduled for Friday. But yeah, at the same time, we are on a government shutdown. So I don't know how these things work, but it might be. Let's see if that's the reaction that we were waiting for. So let's see if this ends up just a retest, being a retest on the fair value gap, or if we will try to invert it and move to the upside. I'm curious to see. Well, on NQ, we have a lower end walk that might be used as drawn liquidity right now. Yeah, right now just waiting for something to happen inside a macro. Yeah, price kind of stopped right at 75% of, or the first, it depends on how you see it. 75% or 25%. So the first quadrant of the daily fair value gap, it kind of has some confluence with minus 2.5 standard deviation as well. And it seems like price really wants to go a little bit lower here, but I would rather wait for a touch on this fair value gap before heading into something. So 8 minutes before the macro, we are still waiting for it. But yeah, so far the bullishness that we were expecting is not happening. Price is just following through these levels. Bearishness is being respected as well. Yeah, nice observation about the Monday manipulation. Yeah, Mondays tend to manipulate and create liquidity for the rest of the week. Yeah, you're kind of right. You're kind of right, Pablo. So we left this fair value gap open, which can indicate that the market it's kind of heavy right now. Let's see if this one stays open as well. Yeah, it did a nice retouch. A nice retouch here on the bearish fair value gap. So the bullish plan was really off. I kind of was expecting a bullish plan here, but this bearish move, we didn't took any side of buy side liquidity here on ES to try to engage in a bearish move. It kind of happened without taking any buy side liquidity. The only buy side liquidity that was taken was pre-market highs on NQ. So we can say that our bullish plan was kind of offside with the market. So we moved from the end walk to event horizon. This fair value gap here, the bearish one, presented right at 25% or right above the first quadrant. It's usually a high probability fair value gap. So it, as you can see, it kind of was respected right away, and price just dropped right away as well. At this point, we are reaching for the midpoint of the daily fair value gap, which has some confluence with -4 standard deviation. You're saying that if the daily candle ends bearish, a selling program will be confirmed. It usually goes below the weekly candle on Thursday or Friday. That's what I've observed. The weekly candle, the daily candle. Yeah, that really makes sense. That really makes sense. Let me see. Yeah, we have a lot of imbalances here to fill. But well, let me see if we can eventually still do something. We are inside a macro right now. So price stopped right at event horizon. Let me take a look at the stocks right now. It seems like they are tumbling down as well. But yeah, I can believe that a lot of people were left out in this move. Now let's see if we'll have some sort of a rejection here at the first quadrant, or if we will take out this high here first. At this point, we have some sort of an SMT here in between ES and Q. And Q already took out that high. Yeah, and looking at NQ, it still has a flat candle on the hourly. ES, I believe the ES had a flat candle somewhere as well. Yeah, but we already took it. Yeah, nice reaction here right now. So this one got inverted. The SMT stays out. Well, so far, not a rejection on the first quadrant of this daily fair value gap. We kind of inverted this last bearish fair value gap inside the macro, so this could give us a drive higher, especially until this fair value gap, and then we will probably expect a rejection, because at this point I don't think we will head to the upside unless it decides to do so. So this high has been taken here. This will be a bullish fair value gap. We'll see if this one will stay intact, or if we invert this one and head below, reclaiming this one as a bearish. So far we reached for it. Nice reaction here. Event Horizon doing its job. Now I'm curious to see if this retracement will end around these levels, because usually a retrace from a move that extends to -4 usually retraces back to -1 and -1.5, or if this is really a reversal on price. If this is really a reversal on price, then we had no chance to get in unless we would do something around here, which for me it's kind of prematurely. Your price just stopped around this this fair value gap right now. So let's see if it will continue to the upside. harsh retrace from price now. Back to the NWOG, it's touching the NWOG right now, and it kind of inverted this bearish fair value gap as well. So very aggressive move to the downside, followed by a very aggressive retrace to the upside as well. Let's see if this is just a fake out to the upside and we will move downwards once again, or if we will hold around here, because right now we are once again outside of this bullish daily fair value gap. And if we can maintain this momentum here, then I would say that we will probably attack all this liquidity here. But for that to happen, I need to see price coming above the NWOG once again. Let me go back to the 3 minute just to see if there's any type of a breaker that we could engage with. Yeah, but the breaker is way down here. So yeah, this one here, it acted like a high probability fair value gap here, an inverted fair value gap inside the macro and above the first quadrant of the daily fair value gap. So Let's see what price will do now. If this turns out to be a continuation or just a manipulation to give us some sort of a retrace. Let me just check the 2-minute here. Yeah, I'm just watching for now. Price still maintain the bearishness on this one. And Q heading a little bit lower as well. So not liking this for a continuation. Let me just check the OT levels. I feel like the platform is lagging once again. Well, we are right at equilibrium here on ES. And inside this bullish fair value gap, but yeah, price went for this order block. It did a nice reaction here. What time is it? 11:15. Yeah, we left some relative equal lows here in this retrace. Just check what YM is doing, what the Dow is doing. But the platform is kind of lagging here. M and Q. yeah, kind of, the market kind of stopped right now. So we might go a little bit higher here, taking out these relative equal highs, and then heading towards the downside once again. But yeah, so far the bullish fair value gap here is holding, but I'm not trusting this. We are lacking some speed as well. So now we are having to follow through here. And so this one will be probably reclaimed. And this was a fast move here. Let me just see if NQ already took out this low. It's still open. Yeah, but I don't think we will have the retrace here just to deliver lower. this will be a one-sided move probably. Yeah, took out the low, -4 standard deviation here, and we will head towards this end wall most probably. We kind of rejected the event horizon as well. So this was another bearish move here. The macro offered this bearish move here. Let me just check on the higher time frames if there's still some liquidity below. Price retouching once again the event horizon. Let's see if it wants to get above it or if it will act as a resistance on price. Yeah, this is a stretched. That would be a stretch move. But so far, event horizon is acting as a resistance here on price. We are respecting this fair value gap as well, respecting the event horizon as well. but we are approaching 11:30. So price really respected the midpoint of this fair value gap here. It kind of is struggling to close above event horizon. Now let's see if we will have some follow through down towards the next quadrant of the daily fair value gap, and eventually the analog as well. So NQ did a new low. New low on AS as well. At this point, I don't want to see price coming back up, so I will just protect my position here. Let's see if we're going to reach for the next quadrant here on AS. Yeah, but we got stopped out at break even once again. So no follow through here. Guess this was aggressive because we still have a bearish fair value gap here. So no real follow through in this move. I was expecting price reach for the lower quadrant, but it didn't work. So yeah, guys, we tried two positions so far, so 2 break evens. Was kind of off with my first position here. Was not expecting a lower move that far. Eventually reaching for previous day low and this sell side liquidity, but reverting somehow when it reached it. And yeah, then this move to the upside. Yeah, I was not interested on this move to the upside. And yeah, I was waiting for some sort of a continuation to the downside here. I kind of aggressively put myself at break even here. So there was no follow through right away. It may give us the follow through right now, but honestly, I tried two times at break even. So yeah, I guess I used all my bullets for today's session. Yeah, the follow through will happen now. I usually don't take these types of shorts, especially when we are at a -4 standard deviation, which usually points out the terminus of the move. But since we kind of rejected event horizon here, I'm expecting a continuation here. But yeah, I guess that's it for today's session. Not the best performance, but at least we got the chance to engage with 2 trades. Break even. It is what it is. We kind of missed the main move here because my bias was not bearish today. I was expecting a drive higher towards London highs and these relative equal highs, and it didn't happen. So we kind of missed the juicy part of the move. And yeah, and now I was trying to get a piece of the pie, but seems like it's kind of risky now. And honestly, it's 11:30 and I already passed my time window of action, so I will end it for for today, and probably will engage in something tomorrow or not, because it's the day prior CPI. So I don't know if we will have CPI or not. Oh, thank you for the advice, Pablo. I'm just reading it. Yeah. Yeah, I took a small size here. I guess I just took 3 micros. Usually my 1 hour, it's about $200, and I was about aiming for 150 as a drawdown limit. So I could extend a bit more my stop loss, but I would probably be wrong if we got this this fair value gap inverted. So, but yeah, thank you for the advice. And yeah, see you tomorrow, Pablo. Thank you for being there. And yeah, I guess tomorrow we will have another chance to engage with the market. So thank you for being there. And yeah, stay safe, and congratulations for your short position on NQ as well. So thank you, and see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you.